Today we're doing a deep dive into something pretty crucial for manufacturers, getting the right packaging automation.
Right. Without, breaking the bank or getting stuck with the wrong machine.
Exactly. We've been looking at Barrington Packaging Systems Group, trying to understand their core value proposition for manufacturers like you.
Yeah. What makes them tick, essentially?
And our mission here is really to pull out the key stuff. How do their solutions actually help? What are the real wins on cost, on quality, and their pricing philosophy?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of jumped out at me first was the right equipment at the right price. Seems bold.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the sources really stress that they're not about selling you the, biggest, flashiest, most expensive machine on the floor.
Not the default upsell.
Their whole focus is giving you exactly what works for your business, your budget, right now.
Well, they actually say it pretty clearly, don't they? We have the equipment you need at a price you can afford.
Yeah, that's the quote. Presented almost like a core principle, not just a tagline.
And that ties into their right size just for you idea.
Exactly. They spend time up front understanding, okay, what are your current needs?
Right.
Where do you see growth coming? And crucially, what's the budget you're working with?
So they're trying to avoid selling you something huge you won't use for 5 years.
Precisely. Avoiding paying for massive, unneeded capacity from day one. It's about smart capital spending.
Which is a big deal. You either overspend or maybe you cheap out and get something unreliable.
That seems to be the problem they're positioning themselves against, finding that sweet spot.
Okay, so getting the right fit and price is step one. But the material also talks about 3 specific ways their gear helps manufacturers win, like day-to-day.
This is where the ongoing benefits come in.
So what's the first one? The impact on costs.
First up is spend less on workers. Basically, the right automation is faster and more accurate than doing it all by hand.
So fewer people needed on the packaging line itself. Or is it more nuanced?
It's really about lowering the labor cost per package. It means your team isn't tied up doing repetitive manual stuff.
So you can move those people to other tasks, maybe higher value jobs?
Exactly. You spend less actual money on the labor for packing each item. More efficiency.
Got it. Less direct labor cost. Okay. Benefit number 2. Spend less on packaging materials. How does automation help there? Seems like you still need boxes and wrap.
Well, yes, but it's about precision. Good automation, sized correctly, use the materials very consistently. Bags, boxes, film, whatever it is.
Less waste, you mean?
Exactly. Fewer errors, better seals, less material used inefficiently compared to manual work or even maybe badly chosen automation. It's that accuracy.
Right, so the consistency cuts down on scrap and maybe overuse of materials on every single item.
And that saving per item really adds up over thousands or millions of units, drops your cost of goods sold.
Okay, lower labor, lower materials. The third one was make better products every time. How does the packaging machine affect the product quality?
It's about the final presentation and making sure the product is protected properly. Automation delivers that consistency.
Like perfect seals every time, correct labels.
Yeah, consistent seals, accurate fills or weights, labels straight, packaging undamaged, that kind of uniformity.
And why is that uniformity so tied to quality in the customer's eyes?
Because consistency builds trust, right? When you buy something and it looks and feels the same way every single time, you perceive it as higher quality.
Fewer complaints about leaky bags or crushed boxes, I guess.
Precisely. Less returns, happier customers. And happy customers tend to buy again, maybe tell others, so the packaging actually supports the product's reputation.
So it connects back. Lower running costs from labor and materials, better product perception from consistent packaging, all starting with equipment that's supposedly the right size and price. Addresses upfront cost and ongoing costs.
That really seems to be the argument they're making in these sources. And they add a bit of proof, too. A 2-year warranty.
On parts and labor.
Parts and labor, yeah. Which is, pretty solid for industrial equipment.
Suggests they're confident the machines will actually last and perform.
It definitely frames it that way. A sign they stand behind the durability, reducing risk for the buyer.
Okay, so wrapping this up, based on the source info, Barrington Packaging's pitch seems to be, we give you the automation you actually need, sized right, priced affordably, and the payoff, they claim, is tangible. Lower labor spend per unit, less material waste, better, more consistent quality perception.
And all backed by that fairly strong warranty. It's positioned as, look, stop overpaying for giant machines you don't need or settling for cheap stuff that breaks down.
Get what works. Get what you need.
That's the message, the essential automation to stay competitive without the usual headaches.
Which kind of leaves the final thought for you, the listener. When you think about your own operation, that balance between the initial equipment cost, your ongoing labor and material costs, and how much consistent quality matters to your customers. What does getting right-sized and right-priced automation truly mean for you and your goals?